Do you have any facts?
The 60-day warranty just ran out on my electronic shop fax machine. Well, I'll be darned. The fax machine still works. Well, it looks like my suspicions were correct. Now I'll just have to find out why Horton was posing as the Black Arrow killer. These drawers contain more worthless stuff than a Walmart bargain bin. This is where When I get to the waterfront warehouse, I'm a little surprised to see it still standing. From the smell of wet ashes, I'd guess the fire department got here in a hurry. They probably took away the charred bodies of Malloy and those government agents. At least Malloy went quickly. With any luck, I'll find something useful in here, if anything survived the explosion, that is. The explosion sure did a job on these windows. Did improve the view, however. A lot of pallets scattered everywhere. That box looks like it's empty. A lot of pallets scattered everywhere. The chemicals in these barrels pack quite a wallop. Man, the shells really got blown around. According to this postal receipt, Malloy sent out 5 packages 9 days ago. I guess that tells me how many boxes I'm looking for. That's just debris scattered from the fire. Some names of Asian cities are printed on this piece of paper. This flight schedule seems a little too exorbitant to be taken seriously. The NSA didn't get all of Malloy's notes. I wonder what this item 186 is. Old shipping boxes. Forklift didn't sustain any damage. Old shipping boxes. shells really got blown around. The explosion sure did a job on these windows. These pallets seem to be a little unsettled. An Everlock safe. I seem to recall there's a mathematical relationship to the serial number and the combination to open it. An Everlock. An Everlock safe. I seem to recall. It's a scrap of paper with some hand-drawn diagrams on it. This scrap refers to some sort of containment chamber with instructions on how to open it. How nice. I can always use an extra key. It appears the NSA overlooked Dr. Malloy's safe. How fortunate for me. Malloy's desk got banged up, as much as he did. Gotta hand it to him, though. He was a fighter. This looks like an old house key. This scrap refers to... That door leads back to the docks. Malloy certainly seems to prefer earth tones. This notebook must contain information on Malloy's work. I can't make out the writing. Looks like some sort of personal shorthand. I wonder. Maybe Regan could figure out some of her father's chicken scratch. This notebook... This paperback book's well worn. From the imprints on this page, I'd say Malloy was writing on the title page and then tore it out. Looks like Malloy might have been trying to make an anagram out of the title, "There Are Messages from Outer Space."
Hello, Tex Murphy. Decide to take me up on my proposition?
We need to talk.
Sounds serious. When do you want to get together?
How about as soon as possible?
All right. There's a lounge here at the Imperial. Meet me in a half an hour.
The Imperial is in the new city. Not too nice, but a few cuts above the Ritz. I walk into the lobby, then down a flight of stairs to the lounge. I'm not looking forward to telling Regan what happened to her father, but she deserves to know, and I'm gonna need her help. Thanks for the bourbon.
Is everything okay?
Tell me about your father.
My father worked for the military. I was born in China. I was raised there. We were really pretty close when I was younger, especially after my mother died. And then, we moved back here when he retired. Then he married that teenage gold digger. You know what I'm talking about. And, we had a little bit of a falling out. I just want to see him again.
I talked to your father last night.
You did? Where is he? I want to see him.
It's too late, Regan.
What do you mean?
NSA killed him. He almost got both of us last night. I'm sorry. Maybe I should come.
It's okay. You always knew they were gonna get him. That's why he didn't want me to know about his work. That's why he sent all those boxes out.
I recovered something. See if it looks familiar to you.
Yes, it's my father's. I recognize his writing. But he wrote it all in his own personal shorthand. It's almost impossible for me to figure out.
Why don't you give it a try anyway? It's one of the leads I'm working on to see what your father was doing.
It's lucky the NSA didn't get this.
You think it's that important?
Yeah, I do. I remember a conversation he had with a man who said that if he could make a translation, it would be worth a fortune.
Maybe it's tied to the boxes.
I brought mine with me.
Yeah, I had one, but the NSA confiscated it. But I know somebody else who's got one.
Who?
Gordon Fitzpatrick.
Oh, God. Gordon Fitzpatrick. I haven't heard that name since I was a little kid. He used to work for my father.
Well, he's as anxious to recover the boxes as you are. In fact, he's paying my tab. I say we form a triple alliance. He's got more connections than either one of us have got.
Let's wait and see what happens. Here, take a look at this. My father made it when we were in Peking, and several others like it. He didn't show me how to open it, though.
How many of these are there?
Oh, 5, I think.
Look, why don't you let me take this and see if I can get it opened up?
I'm not sure I like that idea. I mean, you could open it up and find the others and take all the money for yourself.
Listen, Regan, you gotta trust me. You can't do this by yourself. Nobody can. You need my help, and I need your help.
I guess I don't have much choice, do I? Tex, don't run out on me. I already lost my father.
I won't. Looks like the tiles on the top of the box can be moved around. Now if I can just find out what pattern they need to be in.
Listen, Murphy, I've got a proposition for you. Give me a call when you get this. Hey, Murphy.
Okay, what's the deal?
You followed up on the Autotech tip I gave you, right?
Yeah, turned out to be an NSA front.
But you got inside.
Not as far as you know.
Call it a hunch. Anyway, I need you to get something for me. It's a file with documentation on an NSA project called Operation Euphoria. It's kept in the NSA evidence room in the Autotech building.
How do you know all this?
Let's just say I've gotten to know some useful people. So what do you say? If you can get me the file, I'll trade you information or maybe something else. I've got access to anything you want. Just name it.
Hello there. I'm glad I caught you at home.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't drop by in person, because my housekeeper's on the rampage again.
If I dropped by, I'd just mess up your apartment anyway.
So what'd you find out?
Well, not much. About the only thing I could figure out was toward the end of the notebook. There were quite a few references to OE, EW, and AE, but I'm not sure what they stand for.
Well, the E and the W could be directions or compass points, and the OE stands for Old English, but that doesn't seem very relevant. Whatever they mean, I get the feeling they're leading to something really big. Everyone and their dogs want to get their hands on your father's work.
As soon as we find out what these initials stand for, we'll be halfway to a fortune.
I don't know. Maybe your father was keeping this under wraps for good reason. When we find out what this is all about, we may decide that whatever he learned shouldn't be let out into circulation.
What are you talking about? That's why we're in this. For the money.
Look, your father wanted to keep this work away from the NSA, and I think that's an omen.
We won't sell it to them. We'll only sell the information to the right people.
What if it's not that simple? What if it's something that would be better locked up forever?
That's not an option. It was my father's work, so by rights it's mine now. You can have a piece of the action, or I can do it alone. Now I think you should give me back that box I gave you.
I don't think that's a good idea.
You don't have the right to keep it from me. It's mine.
That's not the point.
You're right, Tex. I'm being foolish and irresponsible. If there's nothing terrible about what we find, we'll make a lot of money and live happily ever after.
Let's keep our fingers crossed, but for now I just want you to sit tight. I have a feeling things are going to get a little sticky from now on. Those initials you found may refer to other people who received boxes from your father. I'll see what I can turn up. Give me a call if anything else occurs to you.
All right, Tex. I'll be here. Please be careful.
I hope you are calling with a hot tip. I don't like being the one answering the questions all the time.
Oh, but you're so good at it.
Can this sweet talk, Murphy. What do you want?
Well, there is a favor you can do for me. You ever heard of a book called There Are Messages from Outer Space?
Sure. It's like a Bible for UFO nuts.
Well, I've got reason to believe that someone made an anagram out of the title. I need to find a computer program that'll check out all the possible anagrams.
Well, that's easy. I know the guy who does the anagrams down here at the paper. I'm sure he can take care of it. Might take a few days, though.
That's okay. Just get it as soon as you can. I'll see what I can do to retrieve the Operation Euphoria file. Anything else?
Yeah. My contact got me a pass key. I guess you'll need it to get to the file. I'll send it over by express courier.
All right. I'll let you know when I'm ready to make the swap.
That's not in my area. Can't help you with that. Seems to me I've heard that name in connection with the UFO industry. I don't know anymore. I've never read it myself. Popular with the UFO junkies, though. Horton was with the NSA. He was the right-hand man of a higher-up named Jackson Cross. Don't know anything about it. Doesn't ring a bell. That's a whacked-out magazine if I ever saw one. Alien encounters, abductions, that sort of thing. Autotech. Gee, that sounds familiar. Wish I could help you with it.
Well, now that I got Purnell's key, at least getting into the locker at the NSA should be easy. Well, this is certainly an interesting design. I wonder what type of symbols these are. Looks like the tiles on the top of the box can be moved around. Now if I can just find out what pattern they need to be in. Looks like a module of some sort and some small metal pegs.
Hello, Tex. Found any leads on our mystery initials?
Well, it depends. What'll you give me if I say yes?
I'm open to negotiation.
What can I do for you, Murphy?
Look, Mac, I need your help. I know Dag Horton was an NSA agent, but I gotta find out why he was posing as the Black Arrow killer. Now, this could be a matter of life and death. For me.
Come on, Murphy. You know they don't tell me anything. Especially not when the NSA's involved. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Man, you gotta be able to figure out something to tell me.
Well, I do know one thing. I know where they took the body. It's down at the county forensics lab. Listen, I know the guy that runs the place. Maybe I can get you in and you can have a little time to take a look around. That's it. That's all I can do for you.
Well, maybe that'll be enough.
No can do, Murphy. Don't know anything about it. We've had the NSA push us out of the way a couple of times. When they say jump, we start jumping and don't stop until they say so.
For the second time in a week, Mac comes through for me. Oh, that's a new record for him. When I get to the morgue, the door's unlocked and the coroner has conveniently gone out for a long lunch. A nice lamp like this sure cuts down on eye fatigue. This reminds me of one of my favorite songs, the hip bone connected to the leg bone. In case one of the cadavers starts playing with matches. And a clean morgue is a happy morgue. This cabinet says, unclaimed personal items. It's Pug. I always wondered what happened to him after I tossed him out of my office. Someone didn't finish their sandwich. From the looks of these damaged craniums, I'd say these are the remains of Curly, Larry, and Moe. Now, various odds and ends. Nothing too exciting. Looks like it's locked. Lost and found? I'll bet there's some fun items in here. You don't see something like this every day. I wonder if the owner knows it's lost. A strap-on shoe. I deduce chicanery took place at the coroner's annual three-legged race. Someone decapitated Mr. Clean. So, this is where Louis shops for his brains and eggs special. This label says Abby eats. Abby normal. I hope someone doesn't accidentally use this brain. Ugh, eyeballs. I'll bet someone's been looking all over for these. These drawers are labeled with letters. They probably contain some personal belongings brought in with the dearly departed. Maybe Horton had something on him. Looks like it's locked. G through I, and Horton starts with H. Nice calendar. Maybe I'll start shopping at Fred's. The stuff in these beakers looks pretty sticky. These skulls look pretty healthy. My head's been hit so many times my cranium x-ray looks like the tributaries to the Amazon. Counter cabinets look like they're worth checking out. How I Did It by Victor Frankenstein. I get the feeling that evil experiments have been done here. That gurney looks about as comfortable as one of those Craft-O-Matic beds. That gurney... This drawer's all locked up. Nice tools. Ideal instruments to pull, poke, and prod. But I guess they don't get too many complaints. Looks like it's locked. I'll bet Mr. Horton has something useful in his wallet. File cabinet key. This looks identical to the key I found in Horton's office. Nice tools. Ideal instruments to pull, poke, and prod. But I guess they don't get too many complaints. Well, it's interesting, but not too useful to me right now. There's a yellowy liquid in this cup. It's probably lemonade. I wonder if there's one around here on female anatomy. I wonder if there's one around here on... Refrigerated storage unit. Well, there's always room for more. The cause of death for this guy's obvious. Dag Horton. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather see in here. Returning to Autotech after almost getting my head blown off the last time makes me a little nervous. There are no speeders parked outside, and a cautious look around leads me to believe the place is empty. At least for now. I better work fast. I'll have to keep my eyes open for the key to this drawer. Yeah, maybe the contents of this envelope will shed a little light. Looks like I'll need to find a special card and passcode before I can open that door. Looks like it's locked. Looks like I'll need to find a special card and Well, this is either a map of San Francisco or a giant Etch-a-Sketch. Seems to be some kind of giant degaussing machine. Uh-oh. This machine encrypts objects with a security code. The lockers are arranged in rows A through F. Who knows what dastardly secrets are contained in these lockers?
We meet again. This time, I'm not letting it out of my sweaty little hands.
Probably cash from a drug bust. An NSA ID badge. I bet I could get in quite a bit of trouble with this little baby. An NSA high security clearance badge. It's all locked up. Who knows what dastardly secret? Well, I hope this is what Purnell wanted me to find. Or maybe she'll just have to be happy with a bootleg copy of a Bon Jovi's greatest hits CD. Looks like a code is required in order to use this scanner. Seems to be some kind of giant degaussing machine. Well, I hope this is what Purnell wanted me to find. This has to be what Purnell wanted me to find for her. She'll be so happy. I hope this box is now descanned. This has to be what Purnell wanted me to find for her. This box contains a module similar to the one in the first box. There's also a slide. I have no idea what this thing is, though it looks like a module made to connect with other pieces. It's a slide with a picture of some strange object, but if Malloy put it in the box, it must be important.
Have you had any luck recovering the box from the NSA?
Yeah, I got it, but I don't think the feds are too happy with me right now. You got a second to talk?
Certainly. The power cell was recovered from the site near Roswell. A.E. I suppose that could refer to Archie Ellis. I believe he's the editor of the Cosmic Connection. The name is new to me. No, I've heard of the book, but I've never read it. Oh yes, I know of him. He's a respected writer in the field of UFO studies. By all appearances, he's a reclusive man. I don't believe I have any additional information. The NSA is a dangerous group. I've dealt with them before, and I have no desire to do it again. But I fear we may have no choice. I can't help you with that.
After Fitzpatrick hangs up, I realize I forgot to ask him for Ellis's phone number. I decided to check the directory, and surprisingly, Ellis's name is listed.
Identify yourself.
I'm a friend of Dr. Thomas Malloy.
Tell me your name and your connection to Dr. Malloy.
My name's Murphy. Dr. Malloy asked me to carry on his work involving hieroglyphics found in the Roswell spaceship.
If you have knowledge of the Roswell hieroglyphics, then you should know other details regarding alien studies. If you can answer several questions, I will agree to meet with you. Who was the author of There Are Messages from Space?
J.I. Thelwait?
Correct. What is the name of the site of the immense alien landing strips in Peru?
The Plain of Nazca.
Correct. Name the structure located at Tiahuanaco.
The Gate of the Sun.
You have passed the test. Contact Archibald Ellis at 413 Vina Del Mar.
The sloppily painted sign 413 Vina Del Mar identifies the place as the Cosmic Connection. The display window is filled with charms, amulets, UFO books, and astrology charts. It doesn't look too promising. I open the door and step inside. An innocuous-looking little man is debating furiously with someone on the vidphone.
Look, extraterrestrial contact was made by the Russians throughout the 50s. It is well documented.
Wrong decade, Arch.
The aliens had to get rid of Kennedy before he exposed them, and LBJ was certainly under their control, if not actually one of them.
LBJ was a commie, mate.
Look, Larry, Vietnam was a ruse to divert the America's public attention and to throw our political system into chaos.
Cliche, cliche, cliche.
You know what, Larry? You're really beginning to get on my nerves here, okay? So why don't I call you back later? Goodbye. You always sneak up on people like that?
I'm a PI. It's what I get paid to do. Are you Ellis?
Yeah, that's right. You must be Murphy. Here's my card. You got one?
Darn it, I think I just handed out my last one.
Oh, okay. Well, you give me one later. So, you're a private eye, huh? Never met a private eye before. Hey, want some herbal tea?
No.
No? Oh, okay. So, you know Dr. Malloy?
I knew him. He's dead. The NSA murdered him.
Murdered him?
Actually, I think the NSA wanted to take him alive. So I gather from that the NSA wanted something from him. Now, you were with him recently. Do you have any idea what that'd be? Oh, do you mind?
Actually, I do.
So I guess this is the part where you tell me everything you know about Malloy.
I wasn't done with that yet.
Sorry.
You want me to start at the beginning?
Yeah, it's pretty standard.
Well, I publish a magazine called The Cosmic Connection. I'm sure you've heard of it. We feature investigative reports, interviews, anything concerning the supernatural, the ET, anything like that. Anyway, one of my contacts in the field is a man by the name of Elijah Witt. Oh, he is a legend in the area of alien encounters. Anyway, a few months back, he set up an interview between Dr. Malloy and myself.
Did Witt say how he knew Malloy?
No, but I think that Witt, pulled some strings and got him, Malloy, a research lab at San Francisco Tech. Witt used to be a professor there, and,
Any idea what Malloy was doing at the research lab?
I don't really know, but he did use a strange term, the Pandora Device. I'm not really sure exactly what it means.
Pandora Device.
Well, yeah, he talks about the dark seed that was unleashed.
The what?
Well, something got loose, something alive. I mean, come on, there's been stories around for ages. Anyway, we talked about other things, Roswell, of course. You know what? What you should probably do is read some books, and I can make some recommendations.
Oh, they have big pictures.
Let's see, I'm gonna start you with something light. Foucault's Pendulum. This is practically a manual on government conspiracies. And, let's see, Adrift in the Telluric Currents. Now, this is a little tougher read, but it's good. It's really good. And a must-read is The Fifth Column, okay, by Richard Eco. Now, this man, he was a prophet. I mean, he proved without reasonable doubt that we've been living amongst aliens for generations, and the government knows everything. I mean, it even hints that one of our presidents was a alien, if not at least half. I won't tell you which president. I want to ruin the surprise for you. Anyway, it's all in there: crop circles, abductions, etc., etc. Look, if you want my advice, don't trust anybody, okay? I mean, I can sense you're on the level here, but most of the time, people, you just don't know. I mean, aliens are everywhere, man.
Hey, Archie. How do you know I'm not an alien?
Murph, you're so silly. Everyone knows aliens deny their own existence.
Well, I appreciate you letting me borrow these.
Sure, just take them home with you.
Could I ask you a few more questions?
Sure, that would be great.
Listen, Archie, what can you tell me about this power cell?
Well, according to Malloy, there were two of them on the spacecraft recovered at Roswell. The research scientists decided that it was some sort of alien battery, and they tried to break one down. The other one was cataloged and stored somewhere in the Roswell complex. I can't help you with that. I told you what I know. I mean, by the name, I guess it's something powerful and something Dr. Malloy doesn't want to let loose. Well, I'm just one of the few people who realize that we are not alone in the universe. I mean, anyone who thinks otherwise is insane.
Did Malloy send you a small box made of some strange metal, no apparent way of opening it up?
Well, actually he did, but it got stolen. That in the interview I did with Dr. Malloy. You know, I'm missing a stapler too and a few pens. I don't know if I misplaced them or...
So let me get this straight. You just let somebody waltz in here and take the box?
Well, no, actually I hid it. But whoever broke in, they knew exactly what they were looking for. The interview that I did with Dr. Malloy was on 2 separate discs. They only got the first one. You want to watch it? Sorry for the interruption, Doctor. This power cell, as you call it, could it be used to power these ships?
Hypothetically. But first, we'd have to get into the Roswell complex. And the military isn't about to roll out the red carpet.
Well, rumors have circulated for years about what really happened there. Would you care to shed some light on the incident?
Well, I can only tell you what I've heard. Among the various items recovered at the Roswell crash were several egg-shaped capsules stored inside a containment chamber. Now, no one could figure out how to open the capsules, so they faded into the background for years. Then the researchers figured out how to operate the accelerator. Apparently, someone used it on one of the capsules and something was released into the facility. And whatever it was, it killed off almost everyone in the complex before the military could quarantine the area.
And no one's been in the complex since then?
Not that I know of.
Thank you for your time, Doc. So, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
Well, the stuff about Roswell was interesting. He didn't say anything about the Pandora Device.
Nope. So what are we gonna do now?
Well, I've got to find out more about the Pandora Device. Maybe I ought to contact Elijah Witt.
Ooh, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Why not?
Well, you see, Mr. Witt, he's a personal friend of mine, but he's a very important, very private person. He doesn't like strangers. Too many wackos on the loose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, Archie.
You think you're the first person who ever wanted to get in there? Heck, every ufologist in the world would love to get in there and take a look around the complex.
So why don't they?
Well, look, first of all, it's secured. The military, they don't want anybody getting in there. It's only accessible with top-level security clearance.
Well, have you got any top-level security clearance?
Well, no.
Well, do you know where I can get some?
No.
Well, I guess I'm just wasting your time.
People say I'm crazy? I don't know any more about it than what Dr. Malloy said in the interview. There were strange designs on the box. They looked Mayan or Aztec. Sure, I know about the book. You don't? I mean, I read it at least 100 times. Yeah, that's the code name for the research done at Roswell on the alien wreckage. I don't have any real good documentation on it. The government keeps a very tight lid on it. Oh, Mr. Witt is a living legend in the ufologist community. I would love to have him over for some herbal tea and conversation, but he's always busy. I guess I just have to be content with his books. Well, as you can see, my shop here isn't just for anyone, but my magazine is written to be interesting and informative to all readers of all ages. Sure, I know about NSA. Scary group. I mean, it's common knowledge they're being run by aliens. Oh, the doctor was a really nice guy. I'm really sorry to hear that he's no longer on this Earth plane. You know, dead. Well, it's good to meet someone with the same ideas as me. I get so tired of people thinking I'm some kind of kook or something. I can't help you with that.
Talking to Ellis was like entering the Twilight Zone. All this hocus-pocus about aliens and quarantines. And what's the story of the Pandora Device Ellis referred to? I wonder if it could be linked to the boxes Malloy sent out. Well, one thing seems pretty clear. Malloy considered the power cell to be important to his work and was convinced that one was still hidden away inside the Roswell military complex.
Good evening, Tex. You look as though you're on to something. What can I do for you?
Well, I had a little talk with Archie Ellis. It seems that Dr. Malloy was working on something called the Pandora Device, and I think it's connected to the boxes. I'd like to run some of these new developments by you. I need some information about the Roswell military complex.
What kind of information?
Well, I got one of the boxes open, and inside I found a picture of what I've been told is an alien power cell recovered from the UFO crash at Roswell. I think the power cell must tie in somehow with the Pandora Device. And apparently, the only place I'm going to find the power cell is inside the Roswell complex.
You intend to go to the Roswell military base?
Well, I don't see any way around it. That's why I called. I need to find a way in.
I don't think I can help you. My security clearance there is a thing of the long past.
Any suggestions?
The only people that would still have access to the base would be top military personnel. And perhaps the NSA.
Well, if that's all, I guess I better get ready to go.
If you're certain you must go to Roswell, there's one other thing that I should tell you. The military base is well camouflaged, and you could spend weeks trying to locate the site. I'll give you the coordinates. If you have connections to the NSA, that's where I'd go to get security clearance high enough to get into the Roswell military base. It's possible that the box that Mr. Ellis received was a blind meant to throw the NSA off track. Knowing Thomas, he wouldn't put all of his information in any one box. Maybe we need all of the boxes to create the Pandora Device. The power cell was recovered from the site near Roswell.
Hey, Got a second?
Actually, I'm really in a hurry.
Oh, I'm sorry. If this is a bad time, just give me a call later. See ya.
Despite warnings from Ellis and Fitzpatrick, I'm bound for Roswell. Hopefully the alien power cell is somewhere in the Roswell military complex. I know that without it, I'll never find out Malloy's secret. The trip to Roswell takes about 4.5 hours, giving me plenty of time to think. Something's bothering me from the last time I went to the Cosmic Connection. And it hits me. A black Avatar speeder was parked down the street. Could have been the NSA. A voice in the back of my head keeps telling me that Archie Ellis is in danger. Or is it that they're just keeping tabs on me? Eventually, I locate the military base, and using the NSA ID badge I found at Autotech, I'm able to get into the complex. The area is still running various security systems, but the place is totally abandoned, at least by humans.